Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Canis Properties. Folks, I've had a lot of really exciting things happen over the last week, and I'm definitely going to be sharing those with you in the coming weeks. However, I wanted to start off by just laying a foundation and by talking about a concept called prospecting. Now, when I have heard the word prospecting, um, I've always thought of it in the terms of a mining sense. For example, a mining prospector, somebody who would go out and survey the rocks, survey the earth, and take samples of rocks and of the soil, and really looking for evidence of something precious. Now, that same concept applies to finding properties. And what I mean by that is you're basically going to look through a neighborhood looking for evidence of something precious or something where there is the potential to make it precious. And what I've been doing the last this spring, starting this spring, is walking through the neighborhood, going up and down every street with my notepad, or if you have an iPhone or whatever it is, your Android app, making notes about certain properties that look like might have some potential to either be fixed up and sold, or fixed up and rented out, or whatever the case. And some of the things you'd want to look for would be the roof. Typically, if the roof looks in really bad shape, the shingles are all curling, or if the eaves troughs are hanging down, or if the windows are all look like they're from the 50s, and the trim around the doors and windows is all peeling off, or the paint of the siding is all looking really rough. Those would be some key signs that this property could be a gold mine. Or another thing would be just how the yard is taken care of. So, for example, if the grass is overgrown with weeds, or the flower beds are just all full of weeds, and nobody's really taking care of it, that again could be a key sign that this property could have some potential. So once you've started to walk up and down the streets of your neighborhood, and you're taking notes, you're writing down the addresses of these properties, the next step would be to then go online and cross-reference these properties on your local city or county's website. Now, typically, the details of the property, meaning the year it was built, the square footage of the property, the exact size of the lot, so on and so forth, that is all typically public information, which is available pretty much to anybody who goes online to their city or county's website. Then, once you've done this, it'll kind of give you a sense of what you're dealing with. Now, once you've done that, what you can do then is proceed with the next steps, which I will talk about in my next video. But I want to take a step back here and talk about again about the area. Now, typically, it's ideally if you live in an area that is kind of an established neighborhood, you can simply just do these tasks of prospecting right close to home. But if you live in a newer subdivision, you may want to then find an area that is close to where you live, where people are actually moving into, where people actually want to live, and an area that is up and coming, or an area that is in transition, an area where there's a lot of grants or funding from the government that's being put in to fix it up. These would all be some key signs that an area would be worth prospecting and possibly worth buying a house in that area. So, folks, I just wanted to throw that out there. And typically, when you are looking for an area, the area that I started off with was about about a 15 block by 20 block radius, and that's give or take a few blocks, but just generally kind of a size that you can manage and do. And what I did was I basically was spending 2 to 3 hours per week, usually on a Sunday or Saturday, going up and down the neighborhood, going up and down the streets, either walking or I do a lot of running, so sometimes I would be running up and down these streets and kind of making a mental note, and then going back later and driving by with my car. But the point is, do that legwork, do that groundwork, and do that initial phase of research. Again, prospecting. You're prospecting for evidence of something of value, or something where you could turn into something of value. So, folks, typically when you choose that area of 10 by 10 or 15 by 15 or 15 by 20 in terms of the amount of blocks that you're looking at, ideally you want to limit it by major streets or major intersections, because that way it's just easier for you as you're going through this and doing this process of really examining your neighborhood. It's easier to just to remember, okay, you know, what dividing line did you use when you were scouting the area. So folks, I hope this is going to help you. Again, this is a process that I have gone through, and I'm starting to go through some more in other areas and really learning about this. And I've just after a few weeks, I've had some pretty good success in terms of getting a pretty good sized list of potential properties that might be good for to make an offer on, or at least to follow up with and to see if there is some potential. So thanks everybody for watching part one. Stay tuned in the next few days. I'm going to post part two, and where I'm going to teach you guys and kind of show you what to do with that list. Once you've got that list of properties, what are the next steps and what it is you want to do next. So take care, everybody. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.